Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we're trying out the Volvo VNL 670 Sleeper. There it is. I'm like, oh, where is it? So this is the Volvo VNL. This is version 1.42, I believe. And this is on Steam Workshop. We're giving it a go. This is one of the ones I have not tried yet, or I haven't tried this version of it. As you see, I have like a baby blue color here with a little bit of a digital print underneath it, and we also have some stacks in the back. It's got the extra tag lift on the back as well, and yeah, that's what it looks like. I think the Peterbilt looks better still, but this is a Volvo. So, and this particular this is like a newer Peterbilt style, anyways, but it's a Volvo. Anyhow, so we're carrying or hauling a tank today. I guess I should have gone here. An M2A3 Bradley from Elko to Stockton, and this will net us $11,000. I'll turn up the sound here a bit. There we go. All right. So this truck has quite a few engine options, actually. Where am I going here? Left. Quite a few engine options. A lot more than I think I've had before. I'm using the what they call the D16 Euro 5, I think is what the engine's called. It's got 750 horsepower base. I think I chose one of the bigger engines, or did I? I'll check diagnostics real quick. I think I did. Diagnostics are right there. Yeah, 750 horsepower with an 18 full or 18 speed. I thought so. I was like, I remember choosing that. So anyways, this particular trailer is from the Jazzy Cat military pack. This is one of the other ones. So last time we were trying out, oh wow, I really take that corner wide. Last time we were trying out one of their trailers, and this time we're trying out the military pack one. So seeing how it goes. I haven't done a big haul, like a larger trailer like this in a while, so this should be kind of interesting. It's mostly highway, and it's American styled, of course, so it's a bit different than Euro truck with a trailer like this. Now, one thing I do need to keep in mind, of course, is that I need to try and stay away from the guardrails, because I do have a slightly wider trailer than I'm used to, so that's something I'll need to remember at least. So anyways, this truck actually sounds a bit different. Has a bit of a... It still has that throatier sound that I remember from the previous version of this truck, which is nice because I liked it. I'm still a little partial to Peterbilts, as you probably are aware already, but this is a nice truck. If you like Volvos, I would definitely say check it out. Like I said, 1.42 is the version it's at right now, and of course the nice thing about using the Steam Workshop is the fact that it'll automatically update, which is sweet. Alright, so we're going to get into that lane here a little bit since there's no one there. Take this turn a bit wider. Good, no one's over there. Good, didn't hit anything, which is good. But I don't know what this tank was actually used for. The M2A Bradley, or M3A Bradley? M2A Bradley? I'm not sure what it's used for. I'm not familiar with tanks very much. I never played World of Tanks. Although my brother-in-law has driven a tank before, which is kind of neat. Alright, let's make this turn. Don't hit anything. I think we're taking that wide enough. Oh yeah. Good. Anyways, yeah, I used to drive a tank back in the day. Anyways, so he'd probably be more familiar with what it does than I am. Indicate. Let that truck go by. Every single time. I don't know what it is. It's because you don't have any time. Like, technically I probably should have stopped there if I were to, like, you know, drive properly. Well, not drive properly, but there's not enough on-ramp for them to give you a chance to, like, get out of your way, basically. That's how I feel about it. So anyways, one of the nice things I noticed is that this has the 8th gear. There we go. One of the nice things it does have is, there we go, has a little GPS on this to the right there, and it's pretty nice in that location because it's really visible. Sometimes I find with other trucks that it's not always visible, which makes it really annoying. for when you're trying to drive around, of course, and find your way around. Like the Peterbilt that I normally drive is a bit more difficult to see, I find. But the screen, having the screen right there is really nice. Of course, back in Euro Truck days, it's still going on. I said as if the game's over, but it's not. They're coming out with a new DLC soon, right? So they are actually. Let me let the FedEx guy go by, and then get by this Kenworth. Well, I lost my train of thought now. Oh my gosh, the ETS is coming out with a new DLC. Although I made it sound there like it's the end, the game's done, but it's not, of course. I only say that just because I tend to play ATS more because it's more my style. So that's the reason why I kind of say it like that. Well, it's not intended. ETS is still alive and strong. Like for example, Farmer Beers plays it all the time. I know Mike plays it all the time. I don't know. Just this is American Truck Simulator is more my style, I guess. That's the reason why I tend to play it more. More my style of driving, style of trucks. So I think it's the reason why. So, like I was saying, I don't know what this tank was originally used for. I think it's an American tank. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, honestly. It could very well be. I think this may be something they use in the army, I suppose. If I were to pause the video right now and go look it up, I could easily, I suppose. But I don't know. I don't feel like pausing right now. Just to find out what the tank was made, what it was used for. But there's a nice view of it right there. It looks ridiculously huge. I don't know what the deal is. This truck seems like narrow, like really narrow. Like even on the inside, it seems narrow. I don't know why that is, but I definitely get that feeling. Like it's not like it doesn't have like a wide. I don't know. It's not as wide as the Peterbilt or even the in-game trucks. Like even from this view, it looks really narrow. And maybe that's because we have a really big trailer, and that's the reason why it seems really narrow. I suspect that's part of the reason why, at least. But I don't know. So far I like it. It's a nice Volvo. I think the inside isn't too bad either. Sometimes when you have modded trucks, the insides are a little bit on the not so pretty side, but this one's not too bad actually. Not as many customizations on the inside I found though, which is a bit of a shame. Most of the customization you could do was on the outside, which is still nice. One of the funny things about this particular mod is you actually have to go and find the Volvo dealership, which I didn't. I thought that was kind of neat actually. So they actually make you find the Volvo dealership before you can actually buy the truck. So I'm like, why isn't this working? Like, what's going on here? So the reason why is because I had to go find the Volvo dealership, and I actually took out my other truck because of it. I thought, I'm like, well, maybe there's a conflict or something. No. So I went back to the Steam Workshop, read the information. It's like, okay, you have to find it first. Good to know. Good to know. So I was trying to figure out what the deal was there. Let's get another screenshot here while we're out in the wild, so to speak. But that's what it looks like there. Looks like a pretty solid truck. I like it. Like the way it looks. You can put the digital paint jobs on there, which is kind of nice. Of course, car, you're going to be in the way. There we go. Nice. That's what it looks like right there. And this is that Jazzy Cat trailer. So there's a few of them like this. There's a few different tanks. Here's the tank itself, which is pretty nice. I don't often see tanks being transported, but from time to time it does happen. I think last time I saw was what do they call those things? Like not a warthog, but it's like it's a tank on wheels as opposed to on tracks. I think it was a warthog. I think that's what they call it in Canada, at least. Anyways, that's the last thing I saw that was kind of like a tank on the road, basically. 1 second, coffee break. Lovely. Yeah, like I was saying before, ETS is coming out with a new DLC soon, so I'll definitely be checking that out when it comes out. I'm always excited for DLC from SCS because they do a fantastic job with their DLCs, and they continually improve them even after they've released them. So like you buy them, and there may be like multiple updates after the fact to make it as best as possible. So I really appreciate that by SCS, because more companies should do that. Because not every company is that thorough when it comes to their games. Like for example, Giants will release a DLC and then kind of forget about it. It feels like, at least, or maybe because they're not as public about what they do to the DLCs, and that could be the reason why. So, for example, SCS is really good about updating their blog about what's going on. So, for example, like they recently posted about one of their trips out to the PACCAR Research Institute, where they did some research on the PACCAR cars, or trucks, I should say, which is like Peterbilt and Kenworth, I think both are fall under PACCAR, if memory serves. Whoa. Come on, Carl. What was that brake for? Was it like a brake check? Jeez. Anyways, so yeah, they did like the little research there, and they talked about that in one of their recent blogs, which was kind of neat. And they also talked about a couple other things in their blog. The Vive la France DLC that's coming out, which is going to be interesting. In all honesty, I'm not in ETS. I don't really enjoy driving in France that much because the toll roads. Don't hit that. I've actually hit those concrete medians before with the trailer, not the truck, with the trailer, and that's the thing that I need to remember. Let's get into the middle lane here where it's a bit safer. Anyway, so yeah, they're actually gonna. Like I said, I don't like driving in France that much in ETS just because of toll roads. So I'll be curious to see what they change with the DLC and what they add with the DLC. That'll be very curious to see what they do with that. Some of the screenshots I've seen have been really nice. They have some really good setups, from what I can tell at least. And as far as I know, they also added the modular highway system, and I think that they did it for ATS and ETS, which is interesting because it makes building highways and roadways a lot easier. So for modders, it should be interesting as well. Whoa, 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 whoa. What was that all about? Jeez. Yeah, so like I said, it should be a bit more modular and easier for the modders to create maps and whatnot because of that modular system they're incorporating now, which is really good. So I'm pretty happy with that. This is what the truck sounds like on the outside. Not too bad. Like I said before, it definitely feels like it's a narrow truck. I don't know why. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either. Like, I'm just used to... I think it's just the trailer that's making it... It's like an optical illusion. It's making it seem as if it's really small, but it's not. But just a visual impression, I guess. I don't know. But it handles pretty well. They do have a lot of different engine options, which is really nice. So if you're like me and you like to switch up engines from time to time, they do have the Cat diesel engines, and they also have the what's it? I think they have the Detroit diesel as well, I think, and then they have their own Volvo engines as well, which is pretty nice. So you get some different sounding engines. Like for example, one of the things that often bothers me with engines is the turbo whine, and this one on this particular engine isn't too bad at all. I can hear it, but it's not like burning my ears because of the whine itself. So, which is good, really good. So, because some engines have that capability. Like, let me know if you let me know in the comments below if you have the same feeling sometimes when you're driving a truck and you can hear that turbo whine and you're like, ooh, it's grating my ears. So, some of them are really bad, and like really high-pitched ones too. But not all of them, luckily. So. What if you can change the... no, you can't change the information. No, you can change the information on the dashboard in front of us, but not the information on the... I think it's O? No, doesn't change it at all. We're getting 38.7 liters to the 100 kilometers, which is not great. Not great at all. Let me put it in comparison. So this truck's saying 38.7. When I was driving Hyundai Elantra last time, I was getting roughly around 6.5 liters to the 100 kilometers. Obviously, I wasn't hauling a tank, but that gives you a perspective as to how the fuel efficiency differs. Maybe that's good for a truck. I have no idea, actually. I should try and keep track of that to see. That would be kind of curious, actually. In the game, it doesn't make a difference, but in real life, you really want to pay attention to those things. And that's actually one of the reasons why they put, what are the on box trailers, they have like the little fins on underneath the trailers now, which is supposed to increase fuel efficiency. Also, on the back rear of the trailer, sometimes they have fins as well. It just depends. Just depends on the truck company itself. Again, come on. It just depends on the truck company, but I have seen that a few times. When I was driving last time, I saw a few trucks with the, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I put fins in the back, so like you have like the three sides of the trailer. So like at the top, so like if you look at the U-Haul in front of me, there was a fin coming, 45 degrees down from the back, from the top, and 45 degrees in on both sides. So it kind of created like a little bit of a funnel almost. And the idea is to kind of avoid. The idea was to try to avoid like the buffeting and whatnot that you can get with some of the. Well, maybe I should slow down. What's my cruise at? 95. There we go. And the idea is to try and decrease some of the buffeting that happens from these types of trailers, like the box trailers, like that U-Haul there, but also to increase fuel efficiency. I believe is the two reasons why they do it now. Which is interesting. I'm starting to see it a lot more these days. Before it was kind of like, once in a while I would see it, but now I'm seeing it. Oh, I don't want to do that. Now I see it like all the time, so which is good, I guess. Because if it increases fuel efficiency, this is a very good thing, because if you're a truck company and one of your big expenses is fuel, and if you can decrease that fuel, that is very good for them. Alright. The hills seem to affect this truck a bit more than the other truck. I don't know if they have a bit of a torque difference, but it definitely feels that way a little bit. Not a crazy amount, mind you, but just a little bit. And there's our tank in the wild once again. It's funny, when I was trying to customize the truck, I don't normally do it on cameras because it takes a long time. Anyways, when I was trying to customize the truck, I couldn't figure out a good color for it. White, I guess, is a good color for Volvos. I don't know why that comes to mind, but I felt like a lighter color was a good idea, so that's why I ended up getting the baby blue, I guess it is. We want to slow down. It's funny, these off-ramps always mess me up in real life. They have them in Toronto sometimes where it's like an on-ramp, off-ramp combination. And they're always really strange because, like, it makes like during like peak hours, it's really difficult because like you'll have people trying to get off that ramp and people getting on the ramp. So sometimes you get like side swipes from people because like I'm getting off and I'm in a truck, and someone who wanted to get into that lane to go to Truckee, for example, would have had to like either slow down or speed up. Like they can wreak havoc sometimes. Like theoretically, what people are supposed to do is they're supposed to move into the middle lane, right, or move away from the traffic that's merging, right? But not everybody does that. Don't worry, cop. We're not speeding. Yeah, I see you. We may be veering across lanes, but we're not speeding. There we go. So, yeah, I don't know, like a lot of people don't do that. I guess it's a courtesy driving or whatnot. Like, the big thing is, like, if you see a truck trying to merge onto the highway, definitely give it space. Like, some people don't do that, and I have no idea why. Because the truck doesn't really stop very quickly. And if you get in a truck's way, you're, like, in a car, you're going to be in a bad place, basically. Because they will take you out pretty easily. Like, the amount of weight behind some of these things is just crazy. Whoa, that feels really tight with this particular truck and trailer combination. It'd be cool to see some of that trailer we just passed. It'd be cool to see some trailers like that were like CN rail, because often you do see Canadian National ship things over land. So like they'll bring it in by train, and then from there they'll ship it out via land on a truck, hauling the CN rail box cars, which is kind of neat. Not a box car, but like I don't know what they call them, transport container, maybe is the right word. But it's pretty neat to see that actually, because like you see it and you're like, oh, okay, it's cool. So like I think their logo is, you know, transporting like anywhere or take it off the train or something like that. I forget what the actual word is. Oh gosh, here we go. So there's a bus coming on. I need to get off. There we go. So that luckily there's enough space there. Ooh. It always feels like that always feels like a really hard thing to do in a truck. Like you kind of have to slow down a lot. No one there. No one there. Let's take this turn nice and wide then. It's funny, I was talking to my buddy last night, and apparently his mom is a good driver for the most part, but she's been hitting like, apparently she's like blinded to one eye a little bit, and she's been like clipping a couple things by accident. So as I made that turn back there, where I almost clipped a sign, that's what I kind of thought of there a little bit. Alright. It looks like we're almost at our destination. Got our 78 clicks to go, which is good. There we go. Give the guy a little honk. And I guess this is our turn up here. Are we going onto a 2-lane road? Excellent. Ooh. No, that was a bad turn. Too quick, too quick. Didn't run into anything, thankfully, but it was a little sketchy. I really should have slowed down a little bit more, but we made it. We didn't run into anything, surprisingly. We didn't run into anything, which is good for us. Anyhow, but yeah, overall this truck's pretty nice. You can have lots of different variations on it. You can have dual axle, triple axle, you can have lowered, you can have all sorts of crazy things in this truck. It's from what I can tell, it's pretty customizable, which is nice, because sometimes with the mods, that's one of the downfalls of them. They're not very customizable, but luckily this one is. So, it's one of the pluses. I still don't think it has as much character as the Peterbilt or the Kenworth what's it called? The W900, I guess it is. I don't think it has as much character as those two, but alright. See if we can do this time. There we go, that was much better. Alright. Make this turn, we'll just wait at the light, grab a quick sip of coffee here. Luckily it's downhill, not uphill. Looks like we're good. This is where having track IR would be nice. There we go. Yeah, it's funny, it's so much easier with like, I don't know, at least I find it this way. It's much easier with like this big trail. Like an ETS, I would have been like crashing all over the place, I think. Now mind you, I almost did crash here today as well, but that's besides the fact. That was just a random occurrence. No, that was my driving. I admit that. I was getting too anxious. I don't think I've ever been to this stop. I don't remember this one. Whoa, when did they add this? I don't ever remember going... Oh, I guess I have been here before. Oh no, I haven't been here before. HMS, that is neat. This is a cool stop. Wow, that's neat. This reminds me of Transocean, actually. I'm not sure if any of you have played Transocean, but it's a good game. It's like an old, if you ever played Ports of Call back in the day, that's what it's like. Okay. Where does it want this trailer? That's the next question. Some are over here, apparently. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to one at this location before. Oh, right there. Oh, really? Come on. Alright. You really have to take that turn wide. Are we gonna make it without clipping that excavator there? Looks like we're okay. I don't know how straight that's going to be. You basically have to do like a 90-degree turn there. How close are we to the wall? Oh, we're good. Oh, that's not too bad actually. That was pretty close to the wall though. So what we'll do is we'll go straight here, and then we'll back up a little bit. Hopefully that'll straighten it out. I can only hope, at least. I have to be careful how close we get to the wall. Like, that's pretty close. I can't really maneuver it the way I want it to right now. Apparently. Not without hitting the wall, at least. Oh no, we're good. He always trying to be all fancy and do it from inside the truck. Let's see. How close are we in the back there? Pretty close. Pretty close. Don't have much more space to maneuver. There we go. Let's see if we can get this now. I don't know, so overall this truck is not too bad. I like it for the most part. I'll probably go back to my Peterbilt just because that's the truck I enjoy driving. But this one is definitely an option for those people like Volvo. That should be good now. There we go. Perfect. Parking brake. Decouple. So the legs are going down there. Nice. M2A3 Bradley. Sweet. Long distance driving bonus. Excellent. Proficiency bonus. Level 20. I don't know what that bonus for parking. High value. Excellent. It was a good run apparently. Alright folks, that was the Volvo VNL 670 Sleeper. There are quite a few options to mess around with. I definitely recommend trying it out. What I'll do is I'll put this truck in the Steam Workshop collection, and you can get it from there if you'd like. So, anyways folks, that's it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of American Truck Simulator, checking out the Volvo VNL. My name's Iain Robson, and if you like what you saw, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more American Truck Simulator. I'll catch you guys later.